You cannot escape from death.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Unfortunately, Bandai Namco has disappointed everyone again. They revealed Yu-Gi-Oh! Harmonica to the world, and every Tekken player was disappointed. Okay, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. Let me say it again. Honestly, bro, I think this reveal was fantastic. This is what the Tekken player base needed, and I'm so happy we got it. The other two leaks were kind of like a grim reality that we could have walked down, but we definitely dodged that bullet. And the developers delivered something that will make Tekken players happy. Baki has been requested for so long. You could go all the way back into Tekken 7, deep into Tekken 7. And this is something that players were talking about. Just recently, one of my videos, I was talking about how Harada was kind of aware of Baki, and he was talking about how he wanted to do research for Baki and see how popular of the franchise it actually was. We know it takes about 2 or 3 years for them to develop characters. I'm sure Harada would have been there at Bandai Namco when they were working on Baki, so basically the whole team pulled together to make this become a reality, and it's very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. First thing I want to do is go back and talk about these two fake leaks. Moonsault Slayer was causing a lot of trouble on Twitter, spreading around this information. It generated 2 stories where you can see this one here where it says Tekken fans debate fake Daigo Kazama Season 3 leak. Some people were on board with the idea of another Kazama. Kazamas, they're very popular. Some people actually liked that idea. Some people, though, were like, no way, bro. We need something more hype. We need something better. We just need something energetic. And I completely understand that, and I get it. If they want to do another Kazama or something like that, they could try it in the future. At least what this could be for them is they could look at how the player base would react, so they could at least take that information into consideration if they ever want to do a new Kazama. And then the other leak that was floating around out there about Kidriko, how do you say his name? I was just calling him Little Sword Guy. That one was so grim, and it was also so believable. I tweeted about this, and I also made a video, and just the idea of this was upsetting me. The idea of that Bandai Namco could be once again sort of like throwing their players aside and prioritizing like cross collaboration and cross marketing, and then another sword-like character. It was crazy work. But like I said, both of those leaks ended up being fake, and they delivered greatness upon us. Me personally, I'm not the biggest Baki fan. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I haven't seen the series, but I will, watch it. I will watch as much of it as possible. We have all the way till early 27, so I think I could watch all of it by that time. But then two, what I'm even happier about, because I don't know if I'll play the character or not, right? I will try it. I will play it. Who knows if I'll like it or not. But the bigger picture here is that Tekken players love it. Tekken players have been kicked. They have been kicked, and they have been kicked. And this game just constantly push players to the brink. And something that I was asking people immediately after this reveal happened is whether or not people would install. And just seeing so many people saying, yeah, I'm reinstalling the game. This is beautiful. This is great. It's just like, finally. I feel like this sense that we're feeling right now is what we should have been feeling like the whole time playing Tekken 8. When Tekken 8 first released, there was so much passion, so much energy, so much hype in the world. And then little by little, just weird decisions from the developers or maybe the higher ups at Bandai Namco forcing that decision. We know Harada left for a reason. But over that time, they just went so far astray. And in Season 3, I think we can finally, thankfully say they are listening. Tifa going over to Street Fighter 6 is still a heavy blow. I think if we would have got Tifa in Tekken 8, which would have been a possibility if Nikatsu just decided to do that. Nikatsu literally was deciding which character, and he chose Clive over everyone. So if he would have made a smarter decision there, we could have been sitting very pretty with 2 characters that were so heavily requested. So it's just good to see that this is finally happening, and it's just good to see so many people celebrating. Bandai Namco for once delivered something that the players can love, and I am just happy for that. I was looking at Twitter, And this reveal was trending top 5 in the world. Because one thing that I often said about Baki is that I don't know whether or not this character is like known like in a larger world like that. Usually when people were talking about Baki, it's just Tekken players. And I never really could get a sense of how big it truly is. But, you know, I've seen some videos on YouTube, people recommended some stuff to me. And it seems like that player base is so much bigger than I thought. So hopefully that gives Tekken a huge boost in momentum. It has a boost in energy right now, but the job is not over yet. One thing that I want to highlight as well is that this is kind of a full circle moment. When I was doing a little bit of research about Baki, I have to do a whole lot more, but the little research that I've done, I've seen that there was a lot of overlap between Tekken and Baki. Like, for example, there's a whole bunch of images of death battle, like things that just exist on the internet, where people were comparing Kazuya Mishima to Yujiro. And then even when you go and watch Baki YouTube videos, you can see that they're using a lot of like Tekken music in the background, Tekken sound effects, maybe a Kazuya Doria. So it really seems like this is just a great coming together moment, and it's something that the players can really love. And on a deeper level, we know that the Tekken developers have always had some kind of connection with the Baki team, because in the past, the Baki developers designed artwork and an outfit for Bruce. There's artwork that's been posted from like 2004. I'll put that on the screen so you guys can see it. But this is something that honestly feels like it's been a long time in the making. And delivering this at this very moment, I just see so many people being happy. And that's what counts. That's what matters. We do have some time before this character is released. This character will drop all the way in early 2027. If I had to take a prediction, that's probably like January 27th, sometime late January, maybe early February, but probably late January. So we have some time before we get cooking with the character, but that's kind of a good thing because the developer is going to continue to do balance updates. They're going to continue to fix the game. And about time we reach that point, we should be smooth sailing. A tweet here from Dell says, anyone foolish enough to think that this isn't a bigger deal than Clive from Final Fantasy doesn't know metrics. 1 million, 100 million versus 3.5 million sold. Tekken is so back. And you can see here where it shows the manga for Baki sold 100 million copies in comparison to Clive, where their game flopped. And just even the way the players are talking about it is so much better. When you participate in the conversation, you don't see just hatred, you don't see just anger, you don't see just pure rage. You see celebration, you see enjoyment, you see excitement, you see something that you would like to participate in. It really seems like Bandai Namco is trying to fix their reputation. The whole back to basics things ended up being a joke, but as more time goes on, it will probably inevitably end up being true. We still have some ways to go before we truly reach that finish line, but they are making huge leaps in the right direction. One thing that I liked about this reveal as well is that they didn't necessarily show the character off. We still don't know what the character looks like in the game. This is a big question because anime and Tekken has very different art styles. And when you see the Baki characters, they do a lot of emoting and a lot of smiling. Their mouth stretches when they like smile and talk, and they're very like emotive type characters. So I wonder how will Tekken translate all of the energy and the vibes and just the aura of Yujiro to Tekken. And if they do it successfully, players will be more on board with other animes also showing up, because that was a big hurdle when you talked about characters like Goku, etc. It's just different in art styles. Something that a lot of players appreciated as well, and this is something that the developer said they kind of struggled with, is like when they show off a character, they want to actually have something to show. And with them not yet being able to show us gameplay because the character is still like basically a year away from releasing, they just had to use the comics. But they did so in an interesting way where they added a little bit of an animation to it, a little bit of sound to it, and they also added his own type of music, its own sound, its own flair. And personally, I feel like this trailer had so much personality because of it. Sometimes when you're watching a Tekken trailer, it could get very samey. You kind of know where the rage art's going to be at, you know where this is going to be at, but this one kind of just breaks it up a little bit and makes it fits a little better, hits a little harder, just give it more style. I think that's something that players definitely appreciate it, definitely celebrate it, and this shows that Bandai Namco can reveal the characters in chunks all at once. It's great work all around, from the visuals, the marketing, to the selection, everything.